Good morning. I'm Max Stevens. I'm out looking for records because I buy old records. And I'm going to head out, hit some antique malls, hit some flea markets, and just see what turns up. So stick with me. Like and subscribe. Never forget to do that. It's probably the only time I'll ever really say that overtly. Covertly, I'm going to be pounding it in there. Well, my first stop of the day is, I guess you'd call it a big garage sale or just a sheet metal building sale. Not much of a garage, but I've got a lot of records to go through here. Doesn't look like much. But you don't know when that one small independent rocking record or blues thing will turn up. So I'm going to use both hands and get back to this. No love there. Sometimes you just got to look through what they have, wipe your hands, and leave. A bunch of hit records in bad shape that weren't much. And that's most of what, I run across. Okay, up ahead's flea market. Occasionally I'll find something here. This is nice. And across the street there's one, but I don't know that it's open. It's hardly ever open. But I'm gonna find a parking space, get stuck in. Oh my. All right. This might look like an obvious plant, but it's not. It's a Sun record of Dickie Lee, and it's pretty rough shape, and I probably just won't get it because of the condition. But that tells me there are some cool things probably hiding in here. Just behooves me to pick up the right cool thing. And they're all fairly drenched in water. Been a lot of rains here. So that's not cool at all. Oh well. So there's a lot of these little funky type flea markets all over the country. Would like to be able to hit them all in the course of a weekend, but they hadn't perfected the cloning stuff, and I don't have the cash to get into that stuff anyway. So I hit what I can, and I'm thorough. Okay, so there was a place across the street, and it's rarely ever opened. Today it was, so I'm able to look at generally 78s here. Not a lot of love yet for Mr. Mac, but I'm going to keep trying and turn this place inside out. And now we found some 45s to look at. Going to take a moment to do this. Probably have to go to both hands. So I'll see you in a sec. So I've got two 78s and a 45. The one here by N.F. Porter seems to be a decent soul or funk record if I remember. So I get outside, I'll probably end up looking that up. And maybe I've got a good thing going. Also got a single-sided Monarch 78 from about 1902. They're always interesting. Then a neat Mexican music Columbia green label in nice shape. So yeah, I think I did very well in there. This is Lazos de Amor, Banda de Policía Mexicana. I guess it was a policeman's band. It needs cleaning, but actually it's got some good shine to it. And then that soul record that I found, looked it up, and that's about a $75 to $150 record, depending on the market and who's on eBay that day or Facebook. So I'm happy with that. That's a good start to the morning. It's only 10:32, if that clock can be believed, and life is good. So this is much of what I do. It's just driving. Sometimes I'll have the radio on, CDs, whatever, and oh man, some of the areas are pretty, sometimes it's desolate, sometimes it's just kind of like it is now, right in the middle between okay and desolate. I do like the change of leaves though. Reminds me I've got to run up to rural Arkansas before the ice hits. Take a look how it is up there. Well, I had to stop at a truck stop and get a little bit of coffee, couple of energy drinks, and I know those things are great for you. You got to have your caffeine, and all that other stuff that they pack in those just to keep me going. So anyway, yeah, I am health conscious. I'm doing my own diet called the Brother Mac Don't Eat So Much diet. It works. I don't eat so much. I've lost weight, 27 pounds in about a couple of months, maybe 2 months and a week. And I just keep the calories down, keep walking, looking for records, keep active, rarely sleep, and it's good. I think it's a good thing for me. I'm going to keep going. Finally got to another little town, and I'm going to see if they've got any antique stores, thrift shops, garage sales, flea markets, or if somebody might just flag me down because they see the sign on the side of my car that says, I buy old records. That's a recurring theme here. Get used to it, but I hope you like it. So they've got some Victrola records, they say, upstairs. So that bears looking into. Maybe they're in here. Nope. Kind of sparse and barren up here, but we'll see if any are hiding. Well, they're hiding very well, that's for sure. Dum 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 dum. I swore there's records up here. Maybe there's another upstairs up on the roof or something, but we'll find out. I found them. I walked right by them. And it looks like they're going to be in a tub here. Yes. Now, I will free my hands up and do some proper looking. Okay, so the literally fifth record I've pulled out, so far they're all victors, is the Memphis Jug Band. I am very happy and I'm glad I stopped in this town, but now I have this many more to go through. If 1 in 5 records are like this, I might just live here permanently. Okay, so I am fairly getting covered in old record jacket dust and such, but I'm picking up the whole pile of records. I just want to pull the ones I like the most out so I can transfer them by hand downstairs, and it'll take a little bit to get all this lugged down to the Honda. Muy feliz. Okay, so I bought the entire tote. They quoted $30, and I'm starting to load the records in the car. I put the better ones that I found in a metal container, but there's more good ones in there, so I'm being very careful. Well, I did the prerequisite sacrifice of certain things and incantations, and I did bury a penny along with some of my hair on the side of the road just to invoke the record gods, and they have heard my supplications. Anyway, just made a major find of 78s, all pre-war stuff, 99% of it Victor label stuff. Wasn't any Tommy Johnsons in there, but 2 Memphis Jug Bands, a bunch of hillbilly bands, a lot of store stock looking Jimmy Rogers, the Singing Brakeman, things like that. A lot of good gospel music too. Well, same little town, another junk store. Want to see what's here? I hope my luck holds out. I don't think it will, but that doesn't mean luck will stop altogether. Also, it's knowing where to look, when to hit places, and the aforementioned sacrifices to the record gods. Well, I almost didn't come to this town, but my daughter, when I was visiting her, said, Dad, you ought to go to this and such town. So I went to this town. I'm mighty glad I did. I'm going to see if there's a few more places. I've made a really good contact with the gentleman who says his dad, or father-in-law, has a whole bunch of 45s and 78s in storage, 50,000 or so. Normally those kind of leads don't pan out, or they've vastly overestimated the amount. But what if? So we've exchanged information. I'll be making another trip up here hopefully very soon. And you know, when I come to a town, especially a smaller town, yeah, I'll look up and I'll see where the antique places are and such like that. But really, it pays to go in each direction on the main roads out as far as it goes till you run out of small town. And then you go hit the back streets closest to the main drags. That's where a lot of the secondhand and thrift shops will be. And then there's always out to the edge of town a flea market, almost always. Just past a place that looks suspicious, but it's closed. And there's another one that's closed. So at the very tip end of town, I was getting ready to turn around and leave. Here's this place, and I remember seeing it literally 5 or 6 years ago, and I found some really great Texas garage records hiding here. So, in we go. So it's just as I say. This place was last checked by me a few years ago, maybe 6 years ago. Since then, it's changed hands, and it's become more of a mercantile closeout on freight goods, things like that. No records. That's incredible. About 3 seconds after finishing that last little video clip, a gentleman pecks on my window. He saw the sign on the side of my car, I buy old records, at ibuyOldRecords@yahoo.com. Don't know if I ought to give that out here publicly, but anyway. He's got hundreds of 45s, probably 178s or so, and another time I'm coming through, I am more than welcome to come look at him. I'll pay him well if he has what I need, and I really hope he does, because I like paying folks good money for good records. Well, that town was very, very good to me, and I'm going to continue heading south and towards home, hearth, and family. You know, the domestic stuff that keeps me grounded, keeps me alive. Well, anyway, it's a real pretty area here. It's getting better and better looking, and when it's all flat plains and such, I can usually spot junk stores across a field. Now I've got to look a little sharper, and I'm hoping I'll run into a flea market or two. And let's just slow it down here. Here's a sign that says sale. Hopefully, it's not cattle or farm equipment, but something, you know, shiny, shellac or vinyl, and usable for me. But I just like getting out. I used to do the old 9-to-5 routine. Also was a mailman for a long time, walked mail routes and such. Oh, I had to quit that because I developed bad knees and a bad attitude. So nothing at the garage sale, false alarm, but it was pleasant people, nice folks. So we're just going to continue going on down the highway and see where it leads. Oh, look, cows. Yeah, this is Texas. Well, it's not quite Texas. It's damn near Texas. We do allow other states to have cows. Okay, next small town has arrived. Took a long cross-country jaunt of about 30 miles after my last victorious small town. Let's see if we can keep it rolling. I've got, another 2.5 hours of small towns I can hit. And I'm feeling lucky today. So the small town has yielded a very dimly lit indoor flea market. And it really looks the part. They claim there's a lot of 45 records hiding in here. Now, if somebody steps out with a chainsaw and a sledgehammer, I'm running. Only if there's no good records, though. Otherwise, I'll try to reason with them. But nothing there I had to have. Okay, so we're getting to one of my favorite parts of any trip I take when I'm way out on the road. And in this case, it's crossing the Old Red River. Oh yeah. Because that puts me back in Texas. And that's a good feeling sometimes. Most of the time it's all right. Although I do like to hit that road and see what shows up. Sometimes it shows up in Texas, sometimes it's in Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, wherever. But anyway, that's always a pleasant sight. Well, I just saw a ex-service station that was converted to a thrift shop junk store. So I've got to do one of my patented U-turns. Go back up the road a quarter mile and let's check it out and see what's there. Half a mile or so up from that last unsuccessful check, I have arrived at another place. It looks likely it's an antique mall. So antique malls are kind of my bread and butter lately. Let's just see if they'll fill me up. When y'all see records I missed, you let me know, okay? Okay. Found an old box full of 45s. And it looks like the box itself is $20. We'll see what's there. Merle Kilgore. Okay, I've got to use both hands on this one. Okay, got to do another U-turn. I saw a big, I think, day glow orange sign saying trade days, and it looks like a rural flea market. Now, of course, hitting it after 3 o'clock on a Saturday, it's bound to have been picked over. But maybe the record folks locally, now I don't know that there are, maybe they've just gone in a different direction. I don't know. Trade days. I guess I'm at the other entrance, but good enough. Yeehaw. Oh yeah. This is the type of place I like to hit. I also find a lot of guitars, tape recorders, things like that in these sort of flea markets. So if I can find out, figure where to park, I'll just lay waste to this place. This looks good. Ah, yes, rural Americana, North Texas. Well, nothing at this flea market, but I did do a lot of walking, handed out a few cards. I'll keep this marked on the map so I can hit it in the future, maybe cultivate some records and some goodwill here. All right. Next small town has shown up on the radar, so turn that dang radio off and let's see what's here. Oh yeah, there's a place up ahead. I've had a history of finding a few good records there. Hit a bunch of great Hillbilly 78s a couple of years back. So I'll see what they're doing before they close up on me. Okay, here's a few. Rusty and Doug. Not much to it though, I don't think. Nope, nothing at this one. Onward and upward. Old comic books and such. A lot of collectors for that sort of thing, but that's a world I don't really want to get into unless I run across a huge find of them, and then I'll be in the comic book business. But it won't have my heart like the records do. And I guess this place is not going to pan out today for 45s. Well, let's check the 78s. A lot of White Gospel Quartet things. No, but nothing for me there. Excuse me while I jaywalk. There's an antique shop over here on the corner, and then the one big one over there, and I think another one. So I think there's one on each street here fronting the town square. All right, that one was closed. No matter. there's one here on the corner that I'd forgotten about. And I remember going through a lot of records here. Hopefully they've gotten new things in. Okay, so we've got a lot of 45s here I've never seen before. That's always encouraging. So let's do a little shuffling. They've made it easy for me. Ooh, that looks cool. I'll keep looking. So right there I did find for 92 cents a decent soul record that sells all right. Very happy with that. It's about 4:30-ish or so, and Saturday afternoon, most of the towns have pretty much rolled up their sidewalks for the night. A lot of these places won't be open Sundays either. I've had a very good 3 days on this trip. So anyway, I've got some great 45 records, some good, couple of killer good rockabillys. Man, couple of rare rockabillys. One by David Ray on Cliff Records. That's Cliff with 2 F's and a K. And then the Kenny McKinnon record, We'll Call Your Daddy Baby. Really great Elvis-y rural rocker. So that's great. Picked up a lot of soul, some blues, some hillbilly, some really crap records too that I thought would be good, but they weren't. But they were cheap. And then I hit the great score of the day, which is in a town back that way. I won't exactly say where, since I'll be going back that way. And for 30 bucks, I got a tote container, which is in the back there, full of 78s. Black Label Black Label Victor records from the late 20s, maybe early 30s, and some really good blues. Wow. So, some hillbilly, maybe some hot jazz I'm hoping for. A lot of pop is in there, but some of that stuff has value. So they're all in great shape. I'm happy. I haven't overspent. So enjoy, come back to see me from time to time, like me, subscribe to me, but come see me, okay? I'm not going to let you down. Somewhere, credits fade to black.